Hey guys, so I'm gonna try something a little bit new this week. I know I haven't posted a video in a while, but I thought I would shake things up and just try and keep it a little more real, a little more stripped back. Instead of going down into the studio like I usually do, I'm just gonna film from home. So this is my apartment. This is where I normally train these days. Not exactly my usual setup. I did push some furniture around, but yeah, just keeping it real in a small space. I'm gonna take you along with me on a real-time workout to hit lower body. So I'm gonna focus on trying to go a little heavier today. I tend to lose a little bit of muscle in the summer, I find, when I'm running a lot. So it's good to try to make the time to make sure I'm lifting a little heavier and getting those strength sessions in. So without further ado, let's do it. So I'm gonna start with a little bit of a warm-up, just to get some activation in the lower body. Then we're gonna head into a strength session. I've got some pretty basic equipment with me today. A couple 25s, a couple 15s, and one resistance band. And then we're gonna close it with a little bit of a yoga cool down. I love to incorporate yoga into my workouts. Great for mobility, great for recovery, and an awesome way just to make sure you're stretching. Okay, I'm done babbling for real. Let's hop right into the warm up. So starting on the ground today, now my band close by, but we're gonna hit a tabletop position and begin just with some donkey kicks. So, starting with the core nice and strong, we're gonna engage the glutes and hamstrings to kick the heel directly back. I like to imagine I'm trying to hit the corner of the room where the wall meets the ceiling. And then of course, make sure that you're not arching in the back. Keep that core supported. There's 5. We're gonna go for 10 here. Take your time, move with control. Last one. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, 10 reps. I love incorporating Pilates into my warm-up. It's a great way to make sure your form is perfect, or as close to perfect as possible. And to make sure we're warming up the muscles we're actually going to be targeting during our workout. Two more on this side. Good, okay, we're gonna go back into another variation of a kickback, this time with a straight leg, lifting the heel directly up. Again, 10 reps per side. Make sure you keep length through the neck. We don't want to be dropping the head. Inhale on the lower, exhale on the lift. 2 more on the side. And then we'll switch legs. Again, we're going to do 10. One more. Don't forget that core support. Nice, okay. From here, we're gonna flip over onto our sides and move into a side leg raise. So fully extending the top leg, we're gonna lift it up, keeping all the joints facing forward. Little pause at the top and slowly lower down. You can keep your core pulled in here as well. Still moving with your breath. Okay, this is number 10. We're gonna pulse at the top. So hold right at the top where it burns the most. And we're just gonna do tiny little pulses for 20 reps here. There's 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, from here we're gonna pull up into a modified side plank, just a gentle side plank to get started. Waking up through the core a little more, really lift from the obliques. And then we're gonna add 3 dips. Drop the hip, brace through the core to lift. Inhale, lower, squeeze to lift. Inhale, lower, squeeze to lift. Okay, we're gonna switch and do the other side. Again, we're still just waking up our muscles here, so we don't need to be going absolutely crazy with intensity quite yet. So warm up is all about making sure your form is in check, as I said before. And then of course, waking up the muscles we want to target. It's a really common misconception that every second of your workout needs to be crazy, crazy challenging to see results. That's just not the case. Sure, at some point it should be pretty hard if you really want to be challenging yourself to see a change in your body, I guess, if that's something important to you. But when it comes to just general health and fitness, you just gotta be moving. Okay, that was 10. We're gonna pulse at the top. Just halfway. Three, 2, 1. Good. Okay, coming into that side plank. Holding for a few seconds. Again, finding that nice form, lifting from the obliques, and then we're going to do 3 dips. Inhale to lower, squeeze to lift. 2, really squeezing in the waist. 3. Cool. Okay, now we're going to flip over onto our backs. Option to have a resistance band, adding a little bit of intensity here, totally up to you. We're going to place it kind of halfway between the knees and your hips. Stopwatch here. Okay, bring the heels in nice and close to your glutes. And you're just gonna push out on the band as you lift from the hips. Keeping the tailbone slightly tucked under and the core pulled in. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. I'm gonna go for 15 of these guys. That'll be the end of our activation. After that, we'll get into our main strength sets. So a lot of people really like to arch their back at the top. You want to try and avoid that by keeping the tailbone slightly tucked under to make sure the core is involved in the movement. Not only is that better for your muscle activation, you're going to get a lot more results out of the movement. You're going to protect your back from injury as well. Let's do 2 more. And we'll hold the last one at the top. Again, focus on the quality of the contraction and your solid form, not just trying to throw those hips up as high as you can. Breathe deep. 4, 3, 2, and slowly lower down. Okay, that is it for our activation. We're gonna get into our main strength sets. So, I'm gonna start with some single leg deadlifts today. We're gonna be hitting our hamstrings and glutes primarily. I'm gonna go nice and heavy with 225s. You can use whatever weight works for you. You can even do this body weight, as long as you really focus on that muscle contraction. Setting up with all your weight in one foot. Other foot is back as a kickstand. We're gonna break in half at the hips. And then squeeze through the glutes to drive back up. Again, most of your weight, all your weight basically, is in that front working leg. Really driving down through that heel to lift. You should feel this in those glutes immediately, especially after that activation. We're gonna go for 10 of these. There's 3. Again, take your time. Quality over quantity, always, always, always. Again, you're gonna see much better results if you focus on the muscles you're trying to target and making sure they're doing the appropriate work with every movement. Good, 2 more. If you're doing this body weight, really slow it down. Focus on that contraction and try and hold it throughout the entire interval. Whew. Okay, there's side 1. We're gonna go right into side 2, switching your feet. Here we go, another 10 reps. Make sure you're bracing your core. You build really strong abdominal muscles doing compound movements like this. If you don't know what a compound movement is, that's any exercise that hits multiple muscle groups, like a deadlift, like a squat, like a bent over row, a chest press. That's the best way to strengthen your entire body. So even though there are primary muscles, there's halfway, targeted during those movements, they strengthen the body as a whole. 4 more. This is my weaker side, so it takes me a little more focus to make sure the appropriate muscles are doing most of the work. If you're lifting heavier like I am, you might be feeling this in your arms and shoulders as well. That is totally normal. Again, we're strengthening the whole body. Final 2. Last one. All right, nicely done. We're gonna set those weights aside for a moment. And superset these, don't hate me, with a squat press. So again, I'm going a little heavier today with 2 15s. We're focusing on the squatting motion, so a bit of momentum is fine here. 10 reps, setting up your feet a little wider than the shoulders. Inhale to squat, and shoot it up into that press, using the lower body to get the weights up. Doing a neutral grip press here. So palms are facing in. Try to keep the elbows tucked in. Halfway there. Final 3. Okay, we're gonna take a proper little rest here and then repeat that superset. 30 seconds to recover, taking some deep breaths, shaking out any tight muscles. Oh, goodness me. Haven't lifted heavy on the legs in about a week or so, so I'm feeling it. Okay, back to those deadlifts. Back to the right leg first, or whichever leg you started on. Find that staggered stance. Here we go, 10 reps. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Focusing on that core. Use that control. Make sure those glutes and hamstrings are taking the bulk of the work. Two more on this side. Okay, other side, last set of these. Find that staggered stance. Here we go, 10 reps. Sitting back into those glutes. Break at the hips, little bend at the knees, and reverse. Woo, woo, woo. Upper body is feeling it too. And tons of endurance in the arms and back as well. Breathing. 3 more of these. I can tell you I am feeling this. Last one. Oh man, nice. Okay. Again, we have that squat press. Focusing on the lower body. So use momentum here. It's one of the rare times we want to use momentum from the legs to get those weights up. Here we go. 10 reps. Inhale. Power up. Two more. Whew. 10, all right. We're gonna take another quick breather. Shake it out. Catch your breath. And then we're gonna head into another superset. Take another 15 seconds to recover. Slowing that heart rate down a little bit, just a touch. Oh man, I hope I'm centered here. Or at least not irritatingly off to one side. Okay, next, we are going to do a repeating reverse lunge. I'm going heavy today, so 225s. We're gonna start with 8 on the right and then 8 on the left. So, stepping back with the left leg, drop down into that heel, drive to come forward. Tap and repeat. So the back knee can tap the floor or the mat, that's okay, as long as it never fully rests. Halfway there, foam on this side. Last 2. Other leg. Another 8 reps. Stand up tall, brace your core. Here we go. So we're favoring our front leg in this particular style of lunge. So you might feel this a little more in the glutes than normal, especially after those deadlifts. 2 more. Last one. Great, okay. We are supersetting this with side lunges. I'm really working on my form here, so I'm just gonna do this body weight. If you wanna grab a dumbbell, go for it. So nice wide stance. I like to clasp my hands in front of me. We're gonna drop to one side. Try to place all your weight in one leg. Squeeze nice and slow to come up. Other side, same thing. Align the toes in the knee. Squeeze to come up. So you can see I'm adjusting my stance as I move through this, trying to line my knees and toes as much as possible in a way that allows me to favor one side while keeping alignment of the joints. There's 6. We're gonna do 6 more. Take your time. This is great for mobility as well. And this is a movement I'm working on these days. I'm trying to get it a little more fluid. Lost count a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna do 2 more per side. Wherever you are, just keep moving. If your reps don't quite match mine, you can pause the video or just do as many as you can today. One more on the other side. Okay, that's that. Quick little breather, and then we're gonna repeat. Those felt pretty good, so I'm probably gonna grab 1 dumbbell for the next round to add a little bit of challenge. But again, no pressure. Work with where you are today. That's the best way you're gonna see your results. Trust your body, trust what you need. Okay, back into those lunges. I'm gonna stick to my 225, so 50 pounds total. So let's put that here. Starting on the right leg. Again, we have 8 reps. Drop down into that heel. Drive the glutes to come forward. That core support, abs in. Two more. Last one. Good. Other side, here we go, same thing. Breathing. Shoulders back. Last 3. Ooh, definitely getting a bit of an upper body workout here too with these heavy weights. Last one. Yep, okay. Back to our side lunges. I'm gonna grab 115. I am so sweaty. And hold down my chest. Nice wide stance. Alternating legs. I'm gonna start on the left side this time. Here we go. Drop it down nice and slow. Trying to favor one side. Already with this weight, it's a lot harder for me to just use one leg to support myself, which is really the entire challenge of this movement. So take your time. It's easy to fake your way through an exercise like this and not actually do it single-legged. Whew. Keep breathing. We're gonna do 4 more. We're actually gonna do 12 this time. Final 3. Keep the abs in, chest open. Last one. Okay, that's that. So next, we are gonna go back and do a finishing circuit. So that includes every exercise we've just done in both of the supersets with a slight tweak to each to focus on high reps. So we're gonna switch the single-legged deadlift to a standard deadlift. I'm still gonna use 225s, but we're gonna be using both legs at the same time. We're gonna follow this with regular squats with 125. Again, focusing on that high rep rate. Then we'll do an alternating reverse lunge with 2 25s once more, maybe 2 15s to get that high rep rate in. We'll take that as it comes, and then we're gonna end with those side lunges again, body weight. So, hope you got all that. I'm gonna lead you through anyway. So, starting with this standard deadlift. Adjust your weight if needed. If you have heavier dumbbells and wanna lift a little heavier for this one, go for it. Since it's a double leg, you probably can. This is what I have today, so this is what I'm gonna use. All right, here we go. Feet shoulder width apart. Inhale, break in half at the hips. Exhale, drive for the glutes to come forward. Keep that nice flat back position. Take it nice and slow. Try to keep the tension on the glutes throughout the entire interval. There's 5. We're gonna go for at least 12 reps of every movement this round. But again, if that's less or more for you, go for it. Trust your body. Challenge yourself to your appropriate level. We have 2 more. Last one. Nice, dropping one weight. We're heading right into standard squats. 125 at the chest. Here we go, aiming for at least 12. Moving slow. I'm keeping a little bend in my knees at the top to keep the tension. I hope the camera can't see how sweaty I am, but I mean, I'm trying to be real here. This is how I usually look when I work out. I'm a sweater, so maybe you are too. We'll sweat together, shall we? 3 more here. Stay back in those heels, tug at the glutes. Last one. Nice. Okay, we have lunges. I'm gonna try 225. I'm gonna be crazy. And I'll stop talking so much, I promise. Okay, here we go. Aiming for 12. Alternating legs this round. 12 total. Halfway there. Last one. All right. Back to those side lunges. I'm gonna stick to body weight for these guys. Really focusing on form. Here we go. Favoring one side. Chest open, gaze forward. Sitting back in the heels, keep a flat back. There's 8, 4 more. Last one. Alrighty, that is our circuit. So next, we're gonna move into our yoga cool down. So starting nice and easy, I'm gonna adjust my mat a little bit. Hopefully I'm still in place, you can still see me. Starting at the back of the mat, or the back of your room. Take a deep breath in, reach up to the sky, and exhale, forward fold, dive it all the way down. Inhale, flat back position, find length through the spine, and exhale, coming right back to that forward fold. And we're gonna slowly roll it all the way back up to the top. And repeat that again. Deep breath in, reach up to the sky, exhale, folding all the way down. Make sure your feet are about hip width apart. Keep the knees really bent and soft. We're gonna clasp opposite elbows and gently rock back and forth to release through the hamstrings and the lower back. Oh, this feels really nice on my back. It's been a little bit stiff this week. From here, we're gonna place the left fingertips on the floor, straighten through the right leg as you reach the right arm up to the sky, look up at your fingertips. Stretching through the right hamstrings. And then we'll switch arms. Same thing on the opposite side. Lengthen through the left leg, reach up through the left arm. And drop that arm back down. One more time, inhale, flat back, find length. And exhale, fold. From here, we're gonna slowly walk the hands all the way out to a high plank position. Hold for just a moment. And then rock forward on the toes, bend the elbows, drop down to your chaturanga, or all the way to the floor. And then we'll push up into cobra or upward facing dog, depending on where you are today. And then curl the toes under, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pedaling out the heels, opening through the chest and shoulders. And then finding some stillness, equal weight between all 4 points of contact. Oh no! Sadly, my building decided to test my fire alarm at this time, so I'm going to walk you through the rest of this little stretch, or at least for a few minutes, with some voiceover. So from this downward dog, we're going to reach our right leg up to a three-legged dog, and then swing it all the way up and forward to a low lunge. Plant that foot, option to bring the hands up onto the knee, or you can keep them on the ground, whatever feels better. Take a few deep breaths here. And then we'll pull the hips back as we straighten through that front leg into a half split or a head to knee pose, stretching into those right hamstrings. And then we'll return to that lunge just for a moment before we fold that right leg into a pigeon. Keep the back knee turned under. You can stay up here on your hands, or if you want to get a little deeper into the stretch, you can lay down, bring the head to the forearms. Keep breathing. Big stretch for the hips and the glutes here. And then we'll slowly come back up. Option to bend that back leg and pull the heel into your glutes for a quad stretch. This is a variation of a mermaid pose. If this is way too much for you, you can stand up and just do a standing quad stretch. Pepper was getting a little nervous here. You can see she's walking around pacing. She hates the fire alarm. Okay, test is over. Bye. And then release that leg. Bring that right leg all the way up and back into your high plank. Send it back to downward dog. We're gonna repeat the same thing on the other side. It's okay, Pepper. You're gonna come hang out with us? Inhale, reach the left leg up. And exhale, bring it all the way up and forward into your low lunge. Option to come up onto that leg for a bit of a deeper stretch. Make sure you're not excessively arching in the lower back. Keep the core engaged. And then we'll send it back for a half split. Pulling the left hip back, bowing forward. Oh, Pepper does not like the fire alarm. She's shaking over here. It's okay, sweets, we're good. What a little baby. And then we'll come forward, back to that lunge, before we fold the front leg back into your pigeon, extending through the rear leg. Starting up nice and tall. And again, if it feels okay to you, you can fold all the way forward onto the mat. Try to drop that right hip, drop that back hip to deepen into the stretch. More deep breaths. Hi, Pepper. And then we'll come up, bend the back leg, and add that quad stretch. If this quad stretch is way too much for you, you can stand up and just do a regular standing quad stretch. This is quite a big stretch here. So again, don't force it. If it hurts, stop. It should feel good, not painful. Last few seconds. And let that go. We're going to bring the back leg all the way up and forward to meet in a cross-legged position. Turn myself to face you on the mat. From here, we're going to drop the right arm down and reach the left arm up and over for a quick side body stretch. Stretching out the back from all those deadlifts and holding those heavy weights. And then we'll switch, come up and over. Same thing on the other side. Find length, then find your stretch. Hello, sweetie. You are so restless, aren't you? Last few seconds here. And let that relax. All right, everybody, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this very different style of a workout video. Again, I'm trying to just keep it simple, keep it real. This is how I normally train most of the time. I'm pretty pressed for time, so it's easy just to quickly do it in my apartment. I have quite a lot of equipment, so yeah, let me know if you like it. Drop a comment if you want more of these. Take care, and I'll see you very soon.